Well, good morning and welcome into Market Day Report. I'm Scott Shelly, otherwise known as the Cow Guy. I'm happy to be here. Hopefully you are too. Hopefully you've got us on in the background somewhere. The shop, the barn, the office. Who knows? Maybe not the tavern quite yet, but still, we love having you on with us. Let's take a look and see how we did in the overnights as far as these grains go. Let's talk about corn for a second. It was higher during the radio show, and it still is. We went out about 4 3/4 cents higher in that July, making a move towards 460. 459 was where we shut it down. Just to tick off the high there. We've had about a 6-cent range. We move, let's go out to the D. That's the new crop, 5 cents higher there to 473 3/4. Will we put a 5 on that? We'll see. But we were only a tick off the high there, and we have about just under a 6-cent range. Soybeans, well, what do they have in store for us? They were just a little bit better, 2 1/4 cents better in the July. 11.79 was last. That's a penny off the high overnight. And we had about a 9-cent range. The new crop, 3 3/4 cents higher there to 11.51. That's about 7.5 cents off the low. And about just 2 ticks off the high, all right? So that's happening. That's soybeans. Let's move out to the wheat in Chicago. Chicago wheat, July up 4 1/4 cents. Got a lot of green on the screen here today. Hopefully it's a decent Thursday for us. 6.21 1/4 is last in the Chicago July wheat. And that's about 2.5 cents off the high of the day there. We got a D board that's up 3 3/4 cents to 664. And that's 2 1/4 cents off the high there as well. And we've had, I'm going to say, about an 11-cent range, which isn't too bad. So that's what's going on with the Chicago wheat. We'll move out to the Kansas City. That's the hard red. And we got a whole lot of nothing going on there. We're just 1 tick better in the July to 637.5. But we were higher by almost 3 cents to 640 1/4. That was the high of the day. So we're in the middle of that range. It's about an 8-cent range, 637.5. December is unchanged, 671. And then as you go out the deferreds, we lose a tick. So no big deal going there. Hard red wheat, kind of quiet. Let's move out to the spring wheat in Minneapolis, see what that's got for us. And that's another 4 3/4 cent gain in July. 673 is last, and that's 2 3/4 cents off the high of the day. And we had about a 9-cent range. If we go out to the D, that was up 3 cents to $7, $7.75 right there. And again, that's going to be about 3 3/4 cents off the high there. Moving out to the cotton. This has been taking it on the chin a lot lately. It still can't find a bid. Boy, we might put a 6 in front of this. That'd be ugly. 18 points lower in the July to 71.56, just 16 points off the low of the day there. And the new crop D's is down 37 points to 71.28, just 8 points off the low there. Let's bring him in. He seems to be the guy we open up with every single day. Brian Hoops, Midwest Market Solutions, Springfield, Missouri. Brian, thanks for being on. All right, the floor is yours. I got a lot of talking to do today. I'm going to let you do this one. What are your thoughts here?
Hey, well, good morning, Scott. So export sales were out this morning. Pretty much routine numbers, 8.2 million bushels of wheat, soybeans at 13.9 for old crop, with China showing up for a buyer of about 4 million bushels of that, and just 1/10 of a million bushel of new crop sales. And China still hasn't bought any beans of a new crop variety. So it's pretty typical for them to substitute U.S. Soybeans at this time of year, kind of fill in the gaps between Brazil and Argentina. And they usually would buy some new crop beans as well, and it's kind of telling that they're not. Old crop corn pretty robust at 41.6 million, new crop at 2.7. And we did have another private sale this morning, 120,000 beans sold to that unknown destination. So third consecutive sale of soybeans. And again, that's probably China just kind of filling in the blanks of what they are not purchasing out of South America. CONAB was out this morning with some news that they are increasing the size of Brazil's corn crop. The soybean crop just slightly lowered, but as they start to harvest the safrinha crop, the second corn crop, it looks to be a massive crop, and that's about 80% of their corn production for the entire year is the second corn crop. So they've increased it up to 114 million tons, a pretty sizable jump there. Just not much news really here for the grains other than that. You're looking at weather with supply and demand report now in the rear view mirror, and there's a lot of talk about ring of fire, hot, heat type of conditions over the next 2 weeks, and it seems to be giving corn just a little bit of a boost in here, although I think most producers are going to tell you that heat is exactly what this crop needs right now, is some warm temperatures, some sunshine, and not quite as much rain because they have plenty of subsoil moisture to work with. Another week to 2 weeks down the road into July, that's when they'll need some additional rain showers. But for now, this forecast looks very good.
Was that corn adjustment, was that a surprise?
I think it was to a small extent, to jump at that much or that aggressively. It's probably more than what the USDA is looking at this time of the year. But they're only 4 or 5% harvested in South America, in Brazil, of that second corn crop. So yeah, that's a little bit of a surprise, but it tells us that these yields are coming in probably better than expected so far.
All right, great stuff. Stay right there. We're going to go away. We need to pay some bills. We're going to come back and talk more with Brian Hoops right after this. All right, welcome back. Let's review what happened yesterday in the livestock market. Let's take a look and see what live cattle have got going on. I've got that one pulled up for us. That was a quiet day. We were down 60 cents in August to 178.32. We were down 47 cents in the D's to 184.77. Not a ton of movement there. I think actually we had less movement in the feeders, if I remember correctly. The old brain's still there. August is down just 3 ticks to 257.57. And if you go out to even say the NOVE, that's down 50 cents to 258.60. So not a ton going on there either. Just steady, a little bit easier in both live cattle and feeder cattle all day yesterday. Lean hogs, they had a little bit of a better day. They were higher than this, but they still finished in the green. We were up $1.42 in that July. 93.70 was last there. And we had an 85-cent gain in August right behind it to 89.95. All right, let's bring him back in. He's going to tell us all what's going on. That's Brian Hoops with Midwest Market Solutions. Brian, thanks for sticking around. What do the machines tell us today?
Well, I think we're probably going to see a little bit of a higher opening in the June contract anyways, softer in some of the other ones based off what the bid-ask is looking like. The box beef movement is something we've been talking about as far as demand goes. We want to talk about that as well. Now, the exports this morning were pretty disappointing for beef, only 12 million tons, slow down from what we've seen over the last several weeks, and it's not a great number by any means, but the number of boxes that we've sold is, for this time of year, it's below 20,000. It's the first time that we've been below 20,000 boxes sold so far this marketing year since 2017. And so we are the slowest in about 6 weeks. And this is, not a great sign of our demand. We're not able to sell our boxes. We're not able to export beef. And that's going to be a concern as we see strength in the market. You really have to look at rally attempts as selling opportunities if you're a producer because of the slow demand that we are seeing. We probably are going to see some higher cash trade today or tomorrow. There was a little bit of trade at 185 in Kansas, just kind of handful. That's steady money. There's a little bit of trade at 185 and 186 in Texas. I think you're going to see more movement at higher money today and into tomorrow. And even on a dress basis, there was some 301 traded, just a handful yesterday. Again, steady with last week. Any additional trades probably going to be at higher money this week. So we're going to think the futures are going to try and follow that cash market higher. But again, because of these slow demand export fundamentals, you really have to look at laying off some of that risk, either put options or spreads or something.
I agree. Great stuff. Super content. It's a great way to open up the day. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Sure. That's Brian Hoops with Midwest Market Solutions. Bring it back to Nashville Music Row and say good morning, Suzanne.
Good morning. Interesting with that second corn crop out of Brazil.